gosh. Oh my goodness. Guys. What is happening? I have like these crazy notes here. It's very messy because I'm just kind of like scrambling, trying to get all that's coming in for your reading. But hold on, let me start by saying I'm noticing right on the top of my word box, this word. It says special. It was just laying right on the top of my word box. This is a very special reading. Spirit is saying. Or I'm saying, you're saying, I don't know who's saying it. Okay, but did I say a welcome or welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot? Right? It's not a coincidence, okay? No coincidences here. You found this reading, this video, for a reason. Welcome. If you're new, welcome back. If you're one of my subscribers already, so many things coming through, so many things. I had to like come on and hurry, and like I was out running errands and they were just coming through for your message, and I was like, wow, what? And I think it was because I was like in this very, curious state, like of wondering why. I don't know, what was I wondering? Why what, like, why are you showing me this, Spirit, you know, in that kind of energy? And it just kept like evolving anyway. And Spirit was showing me some very interesting things, which made me very curious, and it just got really fun. And I really feel like, I don't know, there's a message in here for you. Okay, so there's something about the word homemade also right now in this second, like coming through. It's I'm looking at a box that says tastes like homemade. So something, maybe you're concocting, there's like these two hands holding like some kind of salad. What, I don't know. And it's some box from Costco. And then it says maybe better. Maybe better. Homemade. Tastes like homemade. Maybe better. I don't know. So like, I don't know. Maybe you're conjuring something up, like a soup, salad. I don't know why that's coming through. You're creating something. You're making something. I don't know. All the ingredients, I think, is what's happening right now, is what it's saying. So like, I think you're filtering out what you would like to experience and what you don't want to experience. But let me get back to like all the messages coming through for your reading. So I'm out running my errands and there's all these like things that are sticking out to me. So I'm going to kind of go down the list as what and talk about each one. Okay, so get ready. This is very interesting. And now I'm seeing like this rocking horse. Hold on. It's standing out to me. And then, man, this has been standing out to me. That is so weird. I think, and now I'm seeing an angel with his hand on his head, you know, like on under his chin, like sitting. I was waiting for you to find that. Like, it's about freaking time you seen this, or you decided to like notice something or see this, because this has been in my charms. I don't know. I feel like I've been staring at it for days now, and it's been in my charms every time I look, but for some reason I wasn't feeling like called to pull it. I don't know, but it's definitely giving this rocking motion, right? This rocking back and forth, to and fro. And that song from Sword in the Stone is coming through with Merlin. To and fro, stop and go. That's what makes the world go round. And your angels are like, I don't know if the angels are like, maybe just seems like very angelic like energy. I don't know. Like if you feel like you're being watched over or being sent some kind of like sign or message, I feel like this is your reading. Okay. I noticed when I was out running around there, I was getting gas. I was at the gas station. So anything I say could be very just like symbolic to, I don't know, your message, okay? Because things have been feeling very charades like lately the past couple days, and I think it has to do with being like not attached to like attaching myself to any one specific thing. So that way I mean, that's a message for you too, so that you can like move through. I don't know, it's like this very creative energy. So it's like wherever the wind takes you type energy. It's like this, it's a lot of air energy coming through, and I'm definitely picking up on Libra. What other air signs are there? No, I'm not a zodiac person. Not an astrologer. I don't do horoscopes really. You know, I know the names of them, but I don't know. I can't remember. But I know Libra is an air sign. So Libra's kind of sticking out to me right now. Where are they? Very balanced, like with the scales. I don't know. They know how to stay balanced. But there's some kind of energy. It was like this to and fro, stop and go. That's what makes the world go round. I was at the gas station, and there was this woman. As I was pumping my gas, I just, you know, looking around, and I noticed this really mini, like, small car. And she was pumping gas too, also. And I just thought, how interesting. It had a pentacle on it, and earlier the pentacle had come through from the charms in the reading before this. I'll be posting that first before this reading. I haven't yet edited, but I will be posting those. So it will be the video before this. So there's a pentacle, well, it looks to be like a pentacle on the side of this mini car. It was black with like bright lime green trim. And it was like one of those like really mini small cars, like just very mini size and small. And the color was standing out to me, in the pentacle on the side, and it was, and green always means like go, and we're talking about cars here, right? So I don't know, there's something about that standing out. And then I leave the gas station, you know, I make a left, and then I make a right. And as I made this right, so there's something about points and angles and dead ends and left turns. I don't know. There's something about the right and the left, like opposite points. I don't know. Coming through for your reading also, that's just really standing out. But as soon as I made that right, it's making me think of the pentacle, like as if you were in this and you went this way, and then you made a left, and then you made a right. I don't know. And then you're on this, on some kind of other track. I don't know. But there's something about those turns and those points, or sharp turns. I don't know. That's my dog barking. I'm sorry for the noise upstairs. He's out wandering around. Probably barking at me. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. It's like now I'm seeing this in my box. It's saying, it says restart. Do I need to restart? But back to what I was saying about the red car. Like, did I say there was a red car? Anyway, so first I see the mini small black and green car with the pentacle on the side. And it was standing out to me. And then and then I made a left, I made a right, and then suddenly there was another mini car, another mini one, like same car, different colors. It was red. It could have been red and black, but mostly red this time. And then it made me think of like cars again. I was like, green, red light, green light, cars. That's really weird. You know, it's just standing out to me. So maybe something is like standing out to you. Right? And you're like, what? Why? Why is that standing out to me? You know, is that a message? I don't know. Is that a coincidence? No, I don't believe in coincidences. Honestly, I just don't. And it got me thinking, like, why did that happen? How did that happen? So maybe you were like you're thinking the same thing. Okay, so there's like these thoughts of that, right? And actually, when I was writing this down, if I go back in my mind, I saw these two boys riding bikes, one behind the other. So there's something about like, and then in the cycles, the wheels, the gears, and then it was making me think of like inner workings. It was making me think of yesterday's reading. So it wouldn't be the reading before this, but the reading before that one. So like 2 readings ago. I think it's the one that said decoded. So maybe this is just like part of your like learning to decode the universe or something. The inner workings, the mirror, how it works, right? And why we see like a green car and then a red car. They're similar cars. Why am I experiencing coincidences? Something like that, right? Coming through. Yeah, so that was standing out to me. I don't know what that means. Maybe you're like looking into that. I don't know. But then you kind of go back and remember, because I was saying how I noticed those boys on the bike. That was actually after I made the left turn. Oh, how weird. So I see the black and green. I don't know what this has to do with anything, guys. So just stick with me. And you know how we do on this on this channel. So I noticed the black and green car, right? I think I made a left out of the gas station. Then I made another left, and that's when I saw the two boys on the bikes, one following the other, right? And then it got me thinking about like cycles and gears and the number 2, like on a bicycle built for 2, so you could be seeing things in pairs. I don't know, but I did notice that. And so maybe it's my noticing of that car. And then I noticed, and I was just kind of in that energy of, why do things happen this way? Or what does that mean? And then Spirit showing me like a pair of bikes. They're also transportation, right? I don't know. Maybe maybe this is about transporting. How did I get there? So maybe that was the question. How did this happen? How did I get here? Or why did, I'm just writing that. Why did that happen? Okay. And then, so I'm noticing the 2 bicycles, right? Anyway, and then, so that was that street. I'm going, it had me thinking about cycles, gears, and their workings. This is all while driving, going through my head. Okay, guys. And then I come up and I need to make, oh, that wasn't, no. I made a right. I'm incorrect. Why did my brain say left? So there's something about, do I need to be precise? I don't know, Spirit. So actually I made a right. And then I made another right. And then I made a left, actually. So there's something about angles. Now it's making me think of the pentacle again. It's making me think of like, if this was a mirror. Like if this was a mirror facing this way and this was a mirror facing this way, like what would you see? And then also like, what would you see if there were mirrors on the outside of that? This is God's. I don't know, guys. Okay, I don't know. All right. And then this would be like the point, and this would be like a circle. I don't know why this is happening. So like somebody's like, I don't know, maybe you study angles, I don't know, rhythm, something, because it feels like a rhythm to me of, I don't know, a flow. Anyway, so it was right. It was a right, another right, and then a left, actually. I don't know. Do the colors green and red stand for left and right? I don't know. I know they just like stop and go. And that song was coming through. To and fro, stop and go. See, now you're seeing me kind of work it out loud. I don't know what's happening here. So maybe you do this, okay? I don't know what the point of this reading is. You're wondering, why did that happen? And then you see the red car. And then I was wondering, like, I was wondering that. That's what came to that question. How did I get here? Or why did that happen? Why am I seeing another mini car and it's red now? Like, does it matter? Does it even mean anything? You know? What does it mean? Why? Why are these things standing out to me? Okay, it's like, maybe it's just like a pattern. Maybe you have like some kind of like pattern recognition, which helps you understand the universe in some way. I don't know. And I'm seeing like, yeah, it's definitely doing that. It's like the dolphins here. Pattern recognition. So there's something about like twins or doubling. And then I'm like wondering, and actually when I was on that road after I made that left, I kept going and then I made a right. And now it's making me wonder, like, what if I made a left? Because of this doubling. What if I made a left? What would I have experienced? Would I have saw another mini car? I don't know. So maybe you're like trying to figure out how to, like, I don't know, get from point A to point B, like, you know, in the universe. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Anyway, stick with me. We are at 17 minutes. Wow. The time is really just getting away. Oh, and then this is remembering cars hitting poles. So by my house, there's this busy road. And I remember when I first moved into my house, it's in the back side of my house behind my backyard. When I first moved there, it was weird, you know, and I was worried, like after I moved into the house, I was worried that living so close to that street you know, it kind of kept me up a little bit because of where my room was located and the living room and all that. And I was thinking, like, I wonder, like, because cars go faster, it's like a busier street. So I thought, like, God, that would be terrible if something happened and blah, 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 right? With the house being closed. So, geez, this just makes me feel weird. And now I'm saying it makes me feel some way, and I'm like looking over to my word box again. Like, I feel like I need to pull on camera for you guys so you don't think I'm like just pulling, like putting things there. Okay, it's right here. I don't know if you saw that or not. It says, I feel so blessed. That's not quite what I was gonna say, but I was feeling very weird. Okay. And I don't know if I'm getting confused, but I was like worried that, you know, having those busy cars there, right, with the house being close, that something would happen or whatever. And there was always these cars, like there's these in between the lanes, there's these poles, light poles, and I was worried like a car was going to, oh no, I wasn't, hit my house, but they would always hit like the poles. I don't know. And so it was during the the first summer that we moved into this house, somebody kept hitting like car. I think there was like at least 5 different people who were hitting those poles. And like my neighbor, was like writing the city, like, this is not a good safe street. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's the curvature or something on the road, or people just speed through there, and he wants them to put like speed bumps or something, right? And so I don't know. And I just wrote that note because the other day somebody hit a pole, and it had been like, I don't know, good couple years since somebody had hit one of those poles. And just yesterday, actually, it was yesterday, somebody hit one of the poles, and it made the lights go out, and the neighborhood, and the neighbor that was out there was like, yeah, someone hit the pole, and we were all recalling again the time when, you know, it had been a while, and how so many people kept hitting those poles. Oh my God. And see, I'm like very aware of what I'm saying right now, and I'm like, I don't like to talk about stuff like this because I know, you know, I know my power, but I feel like there's something very important that I need to say here about what somebody is experiencing. Because a few days ago, I think I was remembering that. I was like contemplating on it, and then it happens, or am I just like foreseeing future events? Because out of nowhere, I remember a few days ago, before this happening, I remember thinking to myself, I remember when all the cars are hitting the poles. I didn't think much of it at the time. So maybe you're like wondering, how did I get here? Or why did that happen? Or sometimes, you know, it just feels very psychic, right? When you see things happening before they happen. It's like, I don't know if you must understand, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys who follow me are psychic also. Maybe you want to weigh in on your thoughts and your feelings about it. But yeah. So maybe, and then I saw like a pin, like a pinpoint, like ones you would like place on a map, right? Like to pinpoint something, maybe where you were at, or, you know, like something like one of those pins. Like I was seeing one of those. Okay. So it's making me think of that. So maybe you're like timing something, or journaling something, or keeping track of something, like, you know, for you to reference back. Okay, so maybe you started keeping like a journal. Maybe it's like a manifestation journal, or some kind of like psychic journal, or some kind of universal experience journal. I don't know. I'm wondering how the world works, or how something happens. Well, I got to take my hash browns out of the oven. I'll be right back. They're not quite ready, so I'm gonna have to go back to that. So that's so weird that I said that, because that song just keeps coming through with everything today. It's like to and fro, stop at how it is, stop and go check on something, not quite ready, come back, and now I'm seeing teach. These keeps just standing out to me in my word box. So I don't know, maybe this is teaching us something, or maybe there's something kind of, I don't know, universal. I'm seeing process now. I don't know. And then I was wondering, as I was driving too, I saw this lady, and she was walking on the side of the road. And for the past few days, there's like the word view and side. Oh, and I think, okay, is that the road? I don't know. Those are names of roads, okay? So, but those names of those roads have been standing out to me. There's something about sides and views, right? So this lady walking on the side of this road, and I know it's not just her, there's like people that are always walking on the side of this road, and I'm like, why do you guys do that? Like, don't they know, like, can't they pick a better road to walk, a safer road to walk, something like that? That's very interesting, because it's, you know, why would you walk, like, if there's no sidewalk, I don't know, like a safe zone, or a place to, you know, just a safer, like, you would think you would find a safer route, a safer road to, you know, like if you were exercising and taking your walk, go like maybe walk through a park on a track. I don't know. Why a road? I was thinking to myself. And then that's when the thought of these were coming through. These two names of these roads that were sticking out to me. And they were similar names. Like they first began with the same. I don't know. What does it have to do with? It's like standing out with like this, the sides and the views. So there's something about sides and views. But they started off with the same. So say, I don't want to give the name of the road, but like say the name of the road was like Broadview and Broadside. And those were the names of the roads. Right? And they were sticking out to me because they were like similar but yet different. So there's something about views and sides. I don't know. And so maybe it was like the view from somebody else's perspective. Maybe that's why they walk the road, because of the view. Or maybe like, okay, let's get a little different. Maybe it's not just about like roads, or maybe it's like the path we choose to walk, or why we choose to do something. So I feel like that's really what's coming through, like the process of going through something to remember something. And maybe you're wondering why does somebody do something the way they do? Why would, like, you know, me wondering, why would she choose this road, like this edge or this road to walk? And maybe it's because she likes the view. Maybe, you know, she likes, I don't know, maybe because the road's straight. You know? I don't know. And there, I'm seeing like a circle with a P. Maybe it's something about the points. The points. I don't know. What is the point? What is her... I don't know. Anyway. And then there's something about sides and views, like someone else's perspective, or someone taking a side, or seeing something from somebody else's viewpoint. I don't know. And yeah, why do people do things? And then I was getting something about sizing up. Somebody sizing up, like, as in like, maybe, yeah, like sizing up in maybe a sweater. I don't know. Like sizing, comparison, sizing something up, you know, like examining it. Do I need a larger size? Do I not need a larger size? Am I comfortable with this size? Am I not? I don't know. And then, yeah, and then the fish coming through with a to and fro with Merlin from Sword in the Stone, the song. They were fish, and I think I was talking about that story with in the previous reading about my child who was asking me, like, when did people decide to have dogs? You know, we were talking about it, and then it led to another question. She's like, who thought of like making fish as pets? Like, where the hell did that come from? Why would somebody decide, like, who was the first person to decide that fish should be pets and kept in tanks, you know? And it was like, it was a very like thought-provoking, you know, and it had me thinking, yeah, and I can't help but think like the Merlin, the Sword in the Stone, they become fish, right? And squirrels also, they like become those animals. I don't know. And so there's something definitely energy about fish coming through, and the going and the stopping and the to and the fro and the rocking back and forth, and the doubles, like opposites, you know, highs and lows, left and right, or right and left, 1 and 2. Like a natural rhythmic motion, right? That's what makes the world go round. Cycling. I don't know. Are we in a new cycle? You're starting a new cycle. Yeah, and there was another part that was sticking out to me. Maybe this means something to you. Square. For every square, there is a round. For every square, there is a round. So like a straight line, and a curved line. I don't know. And then it's giving like point A and point B and like geometry here. Oh my god, here's the mathematician thing coming through again. It was coming through in the previous, or the 2 readings before this. And then that keeps coming up too. It's like this remembering, having to go back. If you even go back, like, would you remember it the same way? Like, do you remember it the same way as if you were to go through it? Like, when you actually went through it versus thinking back on it? I don't know. And then the end of the song from Merlin, Sword in the Stone, it said, don't leave it up to fate. He says, it's up to you how far you go. Try so you know, right? And then I think it ends with like, let go, let go. And I don't know if it's because he was telling the squirrel, let go. So like, if you don't like something, maybe Spirit's saying to let it go. If you don't like what you're experiencing, or if you feel you create things, like, let it go, let it go. What is the point? Sometimes I want to point. Points again coming through. It's like that P. What is the point? I don't know. And then light as a feather, stiff as a board keeps coming through too. And heaviness, like light and heavy. Light as a feather and stiff as a board. So light is less heavy and stiff is what's the opposite of stiff? Soft? Like straight. I don't know, it's giving this straight and curved. Maybe they both get to the same point. Like they both go from A to B. One's like, if you were to bend that line, does it make it shorter? I don't know. Hold on. Okay. So the shortest way is the straight line. That's the shortest way to go from point A to point B. I'm sorry that this is so messy, guys. I feel like when it's in my head, it's more organized. I don't know. They would compartmentalize better in my mind versus on paper. But the shortest distance is a straight line. If you curve the line, it needs to become longer. So the distance is longer to get from A to B. So I don't know, it's making me think of this right here for some reason. So I don't know if you're like trying to get, it's giving the pentacle again. If you're trying to get from like one point to another point to another point. It's funny how light ended up in the center when I did that. But I don't know, what does that even mean, Spirit? Maybe you want to go back and watch The Sword in the Stone, the Disney movie, and watch that scene. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube, the That's What Makes the World Go Round song. Maybe you'll feel inspired to, I don't know. But the curved energy is like the long way, it's like going the long way around. You still meet all the points. This is just like to get. Does it matter what's in between? What happens in between the points? And then it's giving this space right here. What's happening in this space right here? Versus this space. What is this? I feel like you guys must, I don't know who you are, but you know something. And then there's this other space. Like, oh my god, there's all this space. And this is making me think of that, like, remembering which way I turned. So it's like, when did that happen? Why did that happen? Or when did this happen? Or when did I decide that? Or when did... I don't know. Because I had to remember I was saying left, left, right, but it was actually right, right, left. Oh, it's... So maybe it could go both ways. Yeah, for every up there is a down. For every high there is a low. Guys. It feels like this is universal. We know this, but there's something about like progress and forward movement and like faster, moving somewhere, getting somewhere faster. I don't know. I hope this made sense, and I feel like I've been on here like far too long, and it's like the story that never ends. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this. I hope you guys choose to come back again, and if anything you found this like insightful or fun, if anything, you know, maybe I'm making no sense at all and I don't know what, like, I don't know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.